So Peter, do you want to tell the boys on the wooden boat forum what you're doing here today?
We're going to enter into sanding nirvana. Zen of sanding.
He even brought his own tools. His own sander, his own sandpaper, for nostalgia's sake. Porter cable.
Oh, for John B, we have to show the extravagant.
Oh, okay. I forgot to bring my air hose up, so I have to climb back down again.
Oh,
Which
I'll go get it.
I'll get it.
Okay. Is that filming? Is that,
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the first episode of BS from the boat shed. Sandpaper.
There we go. The extravagant
Good
sandpaper.
stuff.
For poor John B.
My
Hopefully he won't need his auntie's pills.
my poor boat won't know what hit it.
Sure.
It's not used to such nice stuff.
Where do you want me to start sanding, by the way?
Well, I guess the biggest job is this area here.
Okay. All this
But
part here,
if you want to do
you're doing joints also?
do the seams, the joints should be fine.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So
we'll
because
the
I had the
shine.
peel ply on those.
Okay, we'll do the shine and everything down from there?
Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay, I gotta go get my air hose. The lemon thumb's in his native habitat. It's going to get buried in another
The ridges and the
16th of an inch of epoxy glue. So.
But you want to get all the prickly stuff, the edges.
Yeah, just anything that will catch on the tape.
Okay.
But there's not going to be, like, right in the joint itself. It's not going to matter because there's glue going over top,
Okay.
but on the edges,
Gotcha.
I'm just trying to get...
Okay. Because I know, like in front there was a lot of like little irregular stuff.
I'm my own worst enemy because I don't work neatly enough.
Oh, you work well. Cheers. Happy breakfast.
Proscovia.
Because for some of the bigger stuff, I was almost like I have brought my the little right angle. You know,
Oh, yeah.
And I think if I put an 80 on it, you know, I could feather a lot of that stuff through.
I'm on my last
Really
40
nice.
disc.
Yeah.
I thought I had another box, but...
You want to split this work up? Say like from my toolbox, like the sander box forward, I'll take care of that section.
Okay.
And you take
I'm
care
just
of there,
going
there to
around
there.
the back edges, and I got my little detail sander to get some
Okay.
lumps and bumps off.
Okay. Good.
You ever used one of those?
No.
Great little tool. You want to talk about a weapon of mass destruction.
Okay.
That thing will remove a tremendous amount of material in a very short period of time.
Okay.
They call it a detail sander.
A detail finger?
A detail sander, but
Okay.
oh my god, does it ever work good?
Okay.
Pretty much all the shaping I did around the bow thruster,
Yes.
I did with this.
Okay.
And
Nice.
it's,
Yeah, weapon of mass destruction.
yeah, I learned that.
You go a little bit too far and
Oh yeah.
it's hard to put back what you've taken off.
Yeah. You could probably cut through a 2x4 in about 30 seconds with that.
Now that's just plain scary.
I know. I thought the belt sander was vicious.
Oh well. It's going to be a good day today.
different. This is the first time I worked on the boat in November, I think.
Really?
I think the first year we worked into November, but
Okay.
we weren't
And then
really.
you cut it.
Yeah. And last year we ended about the middle of October, third week of October, I think.
Once you start closing her in, though, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Put a little oil-filled heater in there,
Yep.
and it's a lap of luxury no matter
Yeah.
what it's doing outside.
I notice that side is heaved. This side's probably stayed the same.
Heaved?
Yeah, if you look at the port side, it's higher than the starboard side.
Okay, but isn't that just how it's sitting?
I think
Not
it's
how
probably the
sitting?
frost is working its way into the ground.
Oh, really? Already? No.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because it's quite a bit off from the last time I was in here.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
I'd say that's at least an inch and a half
Okay.
down on that side. Unless it was us.
Because you had set it up true.
It was pretty close to
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
When we flipped it over,
Okay.
it came pretty friggin' close. Now, fore and aft, I don't know. Because I haven't leveled it. I probably won't until the spring.
Yeah. There's no rush for that. Especially if you're going to be dealing with frost heat.
As soon as I have to start
No
put the
point.
bulkheads and framing in, then I'll have to level
Yeah.
it. So until then, I don't have to worry about it. As long as my diagonals are fine.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to build in a warp,
warp.
or a twist. Or
Yeah.
Sure. A lot of fun. A lot of
Yeah, that's what they said when I retired. Build a boat, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't matter that it will kill you.
What will kill you is sitting in a lazy boy all day with your
Yeah, I
remote.
know. Watching friggin' YouTube.
Yeah, or that. Black holes at times. Sucking the life right out of you. This is something else, though.
Yeah.
This is a reward. I mean, I have forgotten more than half of the things and the time spent when I was doing my
Yeah.
already.
And you don't realize it until you like read back through your thread
Yeah.
or go back through the.
going through pictures and stuff, and it occurs to you that you didn't buy this that way. You have to build it that way, you know. But no, time is great like that. Just keeps flying along.
Yeah, I went back through our blog. I was gonna do like a year-end wrap-up thing,
Okay.
which is what I did last year, and it was basically just sanding from May through till the end of August.
Mhm.
Constantly, every day. That's all I did was sand. But you know, and even right now, I don't remember doing half of it. It's just
Isn't
you're
that
just
wonderful?
you're just on cruise control. You know, you're
The zen of sanding. Yeah, you just get into it and time flies by and the job is done. Just don't let anyone ever tell you it's easy. Because it requires
I wouldn't say
a
it's
disciplined mindset to stick to it with rigor.
I wouldn't say it's been hard.
Mhm.
It's been just more work than I originally envisioned.
Okay.
Is that, you know, I built this thing 4 or 5 times in my head
Mhm.
before we actually put 2 parts together. But having not done it, you don't realize exactly how much effort goes into it.
Well, there's a hell of a difference between the concept and the execution.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I discovered. Because I was looking at my boat. It's an elegant square, tapered in the front,
Yeah.
with 4 bulkheads.
Yeah.
How hard can this be? You know? But it's the execution of it. The concept is elegant. Like your boat. 2 long panels for the hull sides,
Yeah.
2 long panels for the bottom panel, 3 for the bilge keel. How hard can it be?
When you're doing it yourself,
Yeah.
you know, like these side panels are almost 33 feet long.
No.
And when they were laid out on the long table, I butt glued them and taped to one side. Then I had to flip them over. And that was probably one of the hardest things to do, but I used my winch
Yeah.
that I had rigged,
Yeah.
and I just made myself a spreader bar.
Okay.
And I put out 1x3s and clamped them all along the edge. And even when I picked it up to flip it, it was still like
a
this,
wet
right?
noodle.
But I had one hand on the winch and one hand on the boat hook, and I was able to grab the panel and just pull the bottom enough so that I could just flip it over. And I think I don't think I broke one of the sides, but I think when I was flipping the keel, I broke one joint on the bottom because it was so small.
Okay.
But
yeah, I remember flipping my panels too. It was kind of funky. It was kind of neat. I didn't have any electrical winch or anything. I just had cheap little pulleys and pull a foot here, pull a foot there, pull a foot there, pull a foot there.
I don't know how much they would have weighed, but probably it'd be like 1, 2, 3, like four full sheets of plywood.
And that's what, half inch?
Yeah.
And a half inch panel is what?
About 75 pounds.
Yeah.
So 300 pounds.
Yeah. 300 awkward pounds. But it's amazing with a bit of determination, creativity. Move a mountain.
It's just like a glacier. Time, persistence.
Yes, sir.
When you can work with gravity on your side. I almost fiberglassed the side and the bottom panels when I had them laid out.
Okay.
But changed my mind.
Well, this will make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I think the fiberglass would have almost doubled the weight of the panel. So.
Yeah. But also at the same time, I'm thinking down here, like where you put your keel, you put a nice radius on there.
Yeah.
You know, and your sheets can come right down. Very nice. One integral part.
I'm really considering doing an infusion of the keel all in one piece.
An infusion?
Yeah. That's where you basically lay in your reinforcements and you enclose it in a bag and then remove all the air. And the bag compresses the reinforcements.
Oh.
And then I will have basically a runner with the epoxy will run the length, and I'll open a valve and the epoxy will run in. And a vacuum manifold on the outside will draw the epoxy through the reinforcements. I've done resin infusions before, small ones. And what that allows you to do is it will consolidate all the reinforcements. There won't be any voids or bubbles or anything in it. And you leave the vacuum on it and it will stay there until it sets. And then once it sets, you peel the plastic off and the peel ply, and it's perfect.
The only say reinforcements, are there small divisions going through this?
There will be, but basically there's
you have an engine mount?
Yeah, it'll
the
be.
The engine's not sitting down anywhere near there.
The engine space is right where your quarter cable box is.
Yep.
So there's stringers to go in, and the engine will sit on the stringers on 2 beds.
Okay. Tank down here?
I think I'm going to put the water tanks on either side of the engine.
Okay.
And then I'll have an empty space on either side. I'll put the fuel tanks and then the waste tanks behind it. So, like I said before, I'll have one open area, probably one for batteries and one for all my pumps.
Okay.
And the hot water heater will sit right about where we are. And it's a big one. It's 15 gallons. So.
Okay. So down in that cavity is what now?
Nothing. Just ballast.
Just ballast. Is that ballast secured anyway?
I'll glue it in. Once it's set, I'll epoxy it in, and it won't go anywhere. So, but we won't know that until we do the inclining test and get her trimmed out on her lines, like loaded up with stuff. And But the thing about that triangular shape is you can have like your bottom row and then add to it on top. You know, if you just glue the bottoms down, and if you need to add, you can just flop it in upside down on top of it.
Yeah, they key into each other.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it going anywhere. So. The only time that would become a problem is if you go upside down.
And that could be a problem.
We're not going to do a rollover test.
No. Well, hopefully you'll never find yourself in a situation where that is even a...
No, we will do our best to avoid those situations. So.
Yep.
I was in Kingston at the boat builder there. They built a couple of our 47-foot motor lifeboats, and they did a rollover test. And brand new boat, they hauled it out. It was all ballasted down, had like half water, half fuel, and they just hook onto it with a crane, and once they get it over, and it goes right back up on its own. Yeah. We will endeavor to avoid that situation.
Well, we have the technology to avoid it. Accurate weather forecast, we hope.
Stick to the skinny water and...
Yeah. Absolutely.
We really like the canals. That's kind of our style of boating, I guess, you know. 5 knots putting along a canal.
Natalie fell in love with that this time. Absolutely. We weren't in the canal yet. We were just along the river.
Well, you get into the Rideau and places like that. And
yeah, because I think she also, she gets into the tourist thing also, where going into a little town or something, she wants to go exploring, see what's there, little shops, knickknacks.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop. I just want to sit down and have a beer. Take a little break.
we definitely have to do the Erie Canal together.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of those little towns along there cater to boaters.
That's what I've read, yeah. Like they face the canal.
The town is on the canal. Yeah. The town was built because of the canal, sort of thing.
You have to walk an hour
to
get to something.
It's right there.
Right there. Yeah, there's no shortage of cruises. We're way out into the future. We'd like to do the Trans-Severn also.
Yep.
And even consider wintering the boat in Georgian Bay.
In Midland somewhere.
Yeah.
Midland or Penetanguishene or...
Sure.
Hooterville.
Hooterville?
Parry Sound.
Hooterville?
We always called it Hooterville. So.
I couldn't find that on a map, right?
Oh yeah, that's there. You couldn't find Hooterville, no. Hooterville was the name of the town in some 1950s TV show. I don't know if it was Petticoat Junction or something like that. And Parry Sound got the nickname from sound, I guess. Noise, hoot.
Well, like an owl.
It was named Hooterville long before I ever showed up there on the Griffin many years ago. But the home of Bobby Orr.
Bobby Orr.
A lot of good times there. Holy geez, you set that back in a hurry.
Yeah.
Chilled to perfection.
But that's it. I'm going to check what you've done and match that. Because I'm not really sure what I'm doing.
I wouldn't.
I'm definitely sanding the rough stuff.
Yep.
And I'm trying to fair any ridges that I see.
You just knock them down. I mean, they don't even have to be perfect. Because what I'm going to do is I have a billiard ball, 2 3/4 inch billiard ball.
Yeah.
I'm going to drill a hole in it, put a dowel in it, and that's going to be my filling tool. It's going to give me a nice large radius to go over top of this, which is basically just bulk filler, right? That's, and then once I do that, I'll be able to put the tape on wet right over top of it.
But why a billiard ball?
Just because of the size. When you think about, what kind of object can you get that's sort of that size that's going to give you a nice radius, mostly just for the chines, where they're fairly large, and in the back corners, where the transom and the side panels meet.
I'm thinking of cleaning issues. Like, wouldn't it be better to get like one of those plastic spatula?
Billiard ball is plastic.
And just shape
That's
the
what I
radius?
used here, and you can see it leaves sort of chatters and the gunk builds up on it.
So
you
you
know.
have to sand it?
I did that,
Scrape
yeah.
it?
I did. Yeah, I think it's probably still here somewhere, but
It's a two-handed job.
yeah, yeah. So you can actually
'Cause how
look
would you clean
on.
that the billiard ball?
I use a little bit of mineral spirits on it first. Just
Okay.
take a rag with some mineral spirits and wipe it,
And that stops the adhesion?
and it stops it from sticking. So
Okay.
if you look in some of the, I know there's catalogs online, you can actually buy filleting balls, and they'll come with all different sizes.
Okay. So it gives you this nice
That's what the
radius?
pros do. You know, if I was doing it professionally, it would probably be worthwhile investing in the tools, but
Okay.
it's something I'll use once and throw away. So,
Yeah.
but you can buy a billiard ball over in Walmart for $7.99.
Okay. That's interesting. I've never
I
heard
thought of a
the
cheap,
billiard ball trick.
cheap alternative to doing that, because I've tried to make fillets with. I even cut up one of my old credit cards. You know.
Too flexible.
Yeah. Well, I think it's too flexible, and the way the material
Curls up.
behind it,
Yeah.
you know, it doesn't want to lay down.
That could be a function of the density. Well, it is a function of the density of your mix. And what you usually
I noticed it more with that cheap wood flour I bought.
Okay.
That's the lighter colored stuff,
Okay.
and it comes out like porridge.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard to get a good fillet.
Yeah. I even tried screening it. I've got a flour sifter,
Yeah.
and it's more like wood pulp. You know, the stuff they would make paper out of than actual wood flour. So I'm stuck with 12.5 pounds of it.
Well, I mean, if it's just a rough bulking agent with epoxy, when you anchor down your ballast.
Oh yeah, I'll use it
Aesthetics
somewhere.
aren't important at
Yeah,
that point.
I'll definitely use it somewhere. So.
The vertical seams, do they have to be done?
Nope.
No?
No, those had peel ply on them, so if you just run your hand up them, you'll notice they're rough.
But they're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now these ones here, I've already sanded.
Okay. Oh, well.
They've only got one layer of tape on them, so
Okay.
they'll all get 2 more layers of tape
Okay.
in the spring. And there's one seam here that doesn't have anything on it. The seam that runs down the center here,
Right.
has to be done.
Okay.
I actually have some carbon fiber I might use there.
Bulletproof.
Well, I think with the rudder, there's going to be some
Yes, I
stress
agree.
on that area, so there's 3 layers of
But
carbon.
you've got that buildup that goes around here?
Yep. Well, I'll have to build that for the rudder bearing and everything to sit on.
A nice big
Yeah.
pad.
That's why I bought the carbon fiber tape, was
Okay.
for that. There's 3 layers of carbon fiber on the outside. It'll be damn near bulletproof, so
Yeah.
I hope.
Well, when I see the way you're building this boat, it makes me wonder if I didn't do enough online.
I think this one's built for a little more rougher service than yours is intended to, you know.
Yeah. Perhaps.
But you'll be able to go places that I won't. With your what, 10-inch draft?
14.
14-inch draft? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, 22 with the outboard now. But I can,
Trim that up.
yeah. We beached it just on the other side of Carryout.
Mm-hmm.
There's a provincial park there.
Yep.
Warriors Road Provincial Park. Beached the fuck there. Natalie got a kick out of that. Well, no rest for the wicked.
Yep.
Okay, I just want to check if this is being in.
Did you notice the mistake? Port side panel outside?
What side?
This is the starboard side.
Did you pump this out? Get it on film.
Oh, I did, yeah. I made that mistake more than once. This was the port side when it was upside down.
Yeah,